Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump and today we're reviewing Pokémon Sun and Moon, which was released in 2016 for the Nintendo 3DS. Now, this game is basically the same as all the other Pokemon games. You basically go around the region, battling trainers, leveling up your Pokemon, and becoming champion. But instead of gym leaders, the region that this game is on is Alola. Instead of having gym leaders, you have trials. Now, I think that this is a sort of fits with this game in particular because of where it's based, where it's set, and how you go around beating the trials. And yeah, because basically what you do is that you do these sort of trial things. So for example, there's one trial in which you have to draw out a Pokemon by gathering certain ingredients. There's one where you have to look at specific pictures and kind of do like a spot the difference. You have to locate a Pokemon in a haunted sort of rundown shopping center place, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's basically what you do. And then after you've beaten a certain amount of trials on a specific island, because in the Alola region is split up into like 4 or 5 islands, and you basically go around each island doing a certain amount of trials. And after you've done like a certain amount of trials, you'll battle like the island Kahuna, and you'll get a certain item called a Z Crystal. Now, Z Crystals are basically like these super moves that you can only use once per battle, and I think that's a good thing, because then if, let's say, you're battling like another trainer, let's say, and then you use a Z Crystal, or a Z move as it's to be called. You can use it once, and then you can't use it again, and instead of like using it multiple times. And I think that's quite nice, because then you wouldn't be overpowered and it would be like overusing it boring. And it's kind of like Mega Evolution in Pokemon X and Y, in which you can only Mega Evolve one Pokemon at a time, and once that Pokemon that has Mega Evolved has fainted, you can't use Mega Evolution again. So I think that's a good use of Z moves. Now, the Pokemon in this game are quite interesting, because like you got a bunch of new Pokemon. So you've got the starters, which is Litleo, Poplio, and Rowlet, yeah. And those are the 3 starters of this region. Now, I really like these starters. I think they're quite interesting, but for me personally, I do like Rowlet's evolutionary line, mainly because of his final form, Decidueye, which is a grass and ghost type Pokemon. And I think that's really cool and interesting, because I feel like that fits design, and I think it's really cool. And also, I do like the other 2 final evolutions for the other 2 starters, because Litten, yeah, Litten. I thought it was like Litleo, and so ignore me saying Litleo. I thought it was Litleo, but it's actually Litten. So Litten is the fire starter, and he becomes Incineroar, which is a fire dark type. Now, I'm quite glad that Incineroar isn't a fire fighting type, because with Pokemon with Generation 3 up to 5, there have been 3 firefighting starters in a row. And I'm quite glad that Incineroar isn't a firefighting type, but it does have that. This design does remind me of a firefighting type starter Pokemon. And for Poplio's, I think it's Poplio's final form. I've forgotten its name, but it will be on screen now. But I do know it's a fairy water type, and again, like the other 2 starters, I really do think that Poplio's final form's typing does suit it well. And apart from there being new Pokemon, but there's also some regional variants. Now, these regional variants are basically older Pokemon from Generation 1 that have been given a new kind of form. So for example, there's Alolan Raichu, which is a electric psychic type, and its form is basically Raichu, that surfing on its tail, and I think that's really cool. There's a Alolan Vulpix and Ninetales, which is an ice type. Then when Alolan Vulpix becomes Alolan Ninetales, it will become an ice fairy type. There's also a Alolan Executor, which is a dragon grass type, and I don't know why there's a dragon type in Alolan Executor. I don't think it suits the type. I don't think the design doesn't suit the typing well, or the design for Alolan Executor. I kind of wish it could have kept with its psychic and grass type instead of having the dragon type. And there are several other variants of Pokemon. And also, there was also an event in which you could get a special event Snorlax or Munchlax, and you could and it had these moves that didn't have them before. Like, I don't think that Munchlax could have used before, like in previous games. And also, once it evolved into a Snorlax, and you gave it, I think Giga Impact, and its very own Z Crystal, Snorlium Z, it could do this thing called Pancake Override. I can't exactly remember the word or the name of the Z move, but it was basically Snorlax jumping high into the air and just pummeling the ground with its entire body, and I think that's really interesting. And then in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, some other Pokemon got these special Z Crystal move things, which I'll explain in my Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon review. And now it's time for some gameplay of the games. Now, the game graphically is sort of okay. I mean, it kind of takes the graphics kind of it's basically like that of Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but it feels like a bit more updated slightly. I feel like, especially for this game, and one of the cool things about this game is that you can use ride Pokemon, as I'll show later after this battle. So yeah, I do like the gameplay. So the gameplay is kind of similar to, like, or it basically is really similar to, but it's basically the same as the other games. So you've on the bottom screen you have your Pokemon, your bag, the chance to run away, battle, like you can choose your moves or what to use. Or you could choose what kind of Pokeball you can use. So you can use an Ultra Ball, a Beast Ball, which is a new type of Pokeball introduced in this game, and various other Pokeballs. So yeah, but the move, the move whenever they use it is kind of like that. Basically, is similar to that of Pokemon X and Y. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because they're on all of those games are on the same console. So the Pokemon Ride is basically these, you basically throughout the game you get different Pokemon you can use to ride. So you got Taurus, Stoutland, Mustail, Machamp, Lapras, Sharpedo and Charizard, and they basically replace the HMs, which I think is quite cool. So for example, if I wanted to choose Taurus, I can basically bulldoze my way through the region like an unstoppable force. I think that's quite cool. The only thing I have against the controls is that you always have to use the circle pad instead of the D-pad, and I kind of wish that we could have used both, because your thumb might get hurt. It might get hurt sometimes if you're using the circle pad instead of the D-pad. So I kind of wish you could have used the D-pad instead of the circle pad. So yeah, and also I do like the interior of the Pokemon Center, because it's basically one of the larger things, and also I do like the whole, you can basically just go throughout each bag or box in the game and basically just choose whichever Pokemon you might want to choose. So I think that's really cool. And also you can like see how many Pokemon you have, and also you can get like I think more boxes once you've beaten or you've become the champion. I think yeah, and I really do like how you can like sort out your boxes. So for example, you might want to have like your team. So my team here. So let's say if I want to have these 3 Pokemon, I'll copy them in. So I can like choose 2 of them, switch out here, and then putting these 2 here, and then getting the final 2 members here. I'm also going to be showing you the Z moves as well, so how they work, how they work in battle, that sort of stuff. So yeah, so if I go to the same patch of grass we were last time, I can show you what move or some of the different moves you can do. So first of all, I'm going to be showing you a Snorlax's move, because Snorlax is this particular Snorlax is one I got from an event when the game first released. So if I choose Z power, okay, so this is how you do a Z move. So if you want to choose Z power, and then the move, so pulverizing pancake, and yeah, and then once you've selected the Z move, this will happen. So yeah, that's basically Snorlax's own Z move. It's kind of like a special Z move, and I think that's quite cool. So I might show you like 1 or 2 more, probably 1 more move. I might. Okay, I'm gonna have Decidueye. Hopefully Decidueye. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you like Decidueye's move when you use the Z move. Oh, Lillipup. Okay. Okay, that won't affect at all, I don't think. Yeah, no effect. Okay, I'm gonna run away. Probably there's another Pokemon that isn't a Lillipup. Hopefully, one will show up so I can show you Decidueye's. Nope, maybe not. Okay. So you see what a Z move can do, and now it's time to go over to Pokemon Moon and that gameplay. Now, as you can see from Pokemon Moon, the time in which this game is set in real time, it's basically nighttime in this game, unlike in Pokemon Sun, because in Pokemon Sun, as I said before, is based on time, and Pokemon Sun and Moon are 12 hours apart. So I think that's really cool, and this is me at the beginning of the game. And I really do think that this aspect is quite cool. It kind of reminds me of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Ruby and Sapphire, mainly because in those games there are 2 different teams, Team Aqua and Team Magma, and depending on which version of Ruby or Sapphire or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire you chose, you would face one of those teams. And I think that this game does the same thing. So yeah, so this game has like Pokemon Moon, kind of similar to, or very similar to Pokemon Sun, and also if I can get it right, if I can pull it off. No, okay, I've done. No, okay, because I can't pull it off. Okay, because that's the move you can do, which if you spin around in like a specific direction, you could like do this little spin thing, but I can't do that here. So yeah, I think that's all that I had that I had to tell you about Pokemon Moon. So now it's time to go back to the review. Now, one of the coolest things about this game, or about these two games, is that they are both out of sync. But I wonder what I mean about this is that in every single Pokemon game, you've got the day-night cycle, in which it will be morning during the morning and night during the night. But with Pokemon Sun and Moon, these games are 12 hours apart. So if you're playing Pokemon Sun, you'll have the normal day-night cycle, in which you'll be morning during the morning and night during the night. But with Pokemon Moon, if you're playing in the morning, it'll be nighttime, and if you're playing during the nighttime, it'll be morning. And I think that's quite interesting because there's one of the Pokemon, Rockruff, can evolve into Lycanroc, and both forms are very, very different. So for the nighttime Lycanroc, it looks a bit like this. It's the dog on all fours, and I think that's a really cool and interesting look on Lycanroc. And with Pokemon Moon, the nighttime Lycanroc looks like this. So it's like more red. It's on its hind legs. It kind of looks like it's gonna pounce or something. I don't know. But I do like those two designs, and I think they're quite interesting of how you can see. I think that's really cool of how you can see the main difference between these two games. And now the rival of this game, How, I think that's his name, I don't really find him all that threatening to me, in my opinion. I kind of see him more as an obstacle, because in every Pokemon game you've got a rival, and that rival is supposed to be, threatening. That rival's supposed to be all up in your face and saying, "Oh, I'm the best trainer." Kind of like how Blue and Silver were in their respective games, of how they wanted to beat you and how they would use Pokemon to try and get stronger and get more powerful. But with How, I don't see him as like a threat. I don't see him as a Blue or Silver, because with each rival, depending on which game you play, your rival will always pick the Pokemon that's super effective against your own. So for example, if I choose Totodile in Pokemon in Gold and Silver, Silver himself would choose the grass type Chikorita. I think that's the name of the grass type starter in Pokemon Gold and Silver, and then he would build a team around that could possibly easily beat mine. But with How, he chooses a starter that's weak against yours, and I don't really think that's all that thrilling, and it doesn't really feel that thing to me personally, because rivals put others so that they can, make you push yourself on your team so they can get more stronger and more better. And then I don't really see that with How. I think he just sees Pokemon as battling as a sort of hobby or sort of fun time. I think I don't see that with How. I just don't really find him as a threat. And towards the end of the game, or like about halfway, you find out that the Alola region is building their own Pokemon League, and once you've done all the trials, you can go to the Pokemon League, and this is where it gets interesting. You become the very first champion of the Alola. So there's no other trainer there like before you. There's no other trainer that's been well known in the region. You become the very first champion of the Alola region, and I think that's a really cool concept, because Alola isn't like the other regions. It doesn't have their own well, it doesn't really have gyms. It doesn't have an Elite Four. It doesn't have a Pokemon League until like towards the very end of the game, where the league is fully formed. You've got some of the Elite Four, and then there's you, the champion, and I think that's really cool. And I think it could be brought back, and I wish it could be brought back in a future game. And also, I do really like the legendaries in both games, because I think the designs fit the games really well. Because you got this one and the other one. I kind of forgot their names, but I really do think they fit both the games really well. And yeah, one of my few complaints, apart from how, is that I didn't really like the pacing within these games, because in previous Pokemon games, you were told like, oh, okay, you basically have to battle the gyms and become champion. In these two games, you'll have a map on your bottom screen, and you'll be told, oh, go to this place and go to that place with a flag of where you're supposed to go. And I don't like that. That to me feels a bit too handholdy, because in let's say Pokemon X and Y, you'll be like, battling some gyms, battling some trainers, and then you would meet up with Team Flare, and you will battle Team Flare for a bit, and then you might go on your way catching Pokemon, battling gyms, that sort of thing. But with Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's like, oh, okay, do this, and then finally you can go and do the next trial. And I don't really like that. It's probably not the best in my opinion. So yeah, that's been my review for Pokemon Sun and Moon. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.